For thousands of years, humans have been heating their homes by burning wood. Lately, we've been kind of going more towards natural gas and electricity, mainly because it's a little cleaner and easier to deal with the thermostat and such. But with the rising cost of electricity and natural gas, and the availability of a lot of wood thanks to the beetle kill, burning wood has become a more desirable option. Hi, this is Dan Hendershott with Summit County Environmental Health Department. And although we talked about some of the benefits of burning wood, there's one drawback. It can produce a lot of pollution, which can be a nuisance for neighbors. It can also lead to some health problems, including runny nose, real irritated eyes, and for those who already have asthma or bronchitis, it can really aggravate those kind of problems. So although wood burning may never be quite as clean as burning natural gas in a furnace or something like that, wood is both inexpensive and it's a renewable fuel as opposed to natural gas or coal. There are a lot of things you can do to burn as clean as possible and be a good neighbor. Let's talk about some of those things. The first tip for having a clean hot fire is to start with small logs. Small logs tend to burn hotter and faster. Sure, they're going to burn faster, so you might have to keep stoking it more often versus a big log, but big logs tend to smolder and produce a lot of smoke. So once you've got your smaller logs, you want to select an area to store these. This wood pile here keeps the wood off of the ground, and it has a tarp to keep it covered so that your snow and your water doesn't keep it wet. You want to keep it in a pile like this for at least 6 months. 6 months will allow the moisture content of the wood to go from about 50% down to 20%, which will again allow your wood to burn much cleaner. When you're selecting your site for a wood pile, you want to keep it away from the house as best you can, just to prevent wildfire or something spreading to your house, and because you might get rodents or insects living in your wood pile, you don't want them to come into your house. So keep your wood pile away from the house. Let's go on inside and talk about a few other things. The most important thing you can do inside your home to burn a clean hot fire is to have an EPA approved stove. Ever since 1990, all stoves sold are supposed to be EPA approved, and the benefits to having an EPA approved stove is that you get 50% more efficient burning with an EPA approved stove. So what that means is for every 2 logs with an old stove that you had to burn to produce a certain amount of heat, you can now just burn 1 log. As far as a pollution prevention perspective goes, a new EPA approved stove is 70% cleaner. So it produces 70% less pollution that's going to be bothersome for your neighbors. Let's go into how to actually build a fire now. Before you even start thinking about building a fire, you want to make sure that your stove is clean. Cleaning out the ashes and the stove pipe leading up to the rooftop will produce good airflow, and again, airflow produces a good hot fire. We recommend that you have your chimney cleaned at least once a year by a certified technician. So once you've cleaned your stove, in order to build the fire, you want to start off with some newspaper. Then it's best to start the fire with some nice dried kindling if you can come across some. This is kiln dried wood that I just got from a garage door manufacturing shop. It was just scrap wood that they were going to throw away anyway. Keep in mind you're wanting to produce good airflow, so it's best to lay the wood kind of in a crosshatch type situation so that you can get lots of oxygen flowing through there. Alright, it's ready to light now. As the fire starts to burn, you can go ahead and add a little bit bigger logs. But as you do, keep them crosshatched to produce good airflow, and never ever burn treated wood, or other garbage that you might be just trying to get rid of that needs to go to the landfill. Sometimes you can blow on it to help get it more oxygen. Now that we've got a pretty good fire going, you're about ready to go to bed maybe, or go to work. The temptation would be to really stuff as much wood as you can in there possibly. But keep in mind, as you stuff more and more wood in there, there's less oxygen flow, and so your fire's going to start smoldering and producing a lot of smoke. After starting the fire, allow it to warm up with the door open for at least 30 minutes. With the fire now nice and hot, you can close the door and it will continue to burn effectively because it is able to draw air through the air intake valves. Keep in mind, if you're going to be burning wood in your home as a source of heat, you got to have three main things. The first thing you need to have is a fire extinguisher. If a log rolls out or something, you need to be able to put it out quick. In addition to having a fire extinguisher, is make sure everyone in the house knows how to use it. The second thing that you need to have in your home, we've talked about it before, is a carbon monoxide detector. If your stove or wood-burning device is producing carbon monoxide because of a bad exhaust system, your nose can't detect carbon monoxide. This can and might save your life. The third thing that you need to have is a smoke detector in your home. Again, if this gets out of control, it might save your life and get you out of the home. If you have any more questions on safe, clean wood burning in your home, give us a call at the Summit County Environmental Health Department at 668-4070, and have a good winter.